Hey, hey, hey. Get this up and running. 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 Hey, everybody. It's Crypto Kris, and it is time for Crypto Let's Talk. So, we're just a little bit early, like maybe a minute or two. So, we're going to hang out and kind of let folks roll in. And hey, Patty. Hey, Sharon. Aloha. So we're going to wait just a minute or two before we get rolling here today. Did you guys happen to see? Did you ladies? Excuse me. Did you ladies happen to see the title that I put on this actual live today? It's going to be kind of interesting. So I have a little bit of a nose drip this morning. Oh, let me shut that off. Make that stop before we have a ring or something come on. So, well, it's 2 o'clock. It's straight up on the hour, and we're going to start talking. And people can join us when they get here. If they miss something, they can go back and get the recording. Um, and that's that. So, everybody just remember that we do have these recorded on Crypto Let's Talk YouTube. So, they're always available there. And I try to get them posted to my actual Facebook page after I download them to YouTube too. So most of the time you can just go to my web page or to my actual page, populated page, and pull it from there if you want. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. So let's get started. Today's topic, oddly enough, I'm going to pigtail or ponytail or whatever you want to call it right off the back of the call that we had yesterday, because I had another awesome call today with another young lady, different young lady from yesterday, but another young lady. And um, what's really cool about this is that I'm collecting data. And isn't that really all we really do? I mean, at the end of the day, y'all, aren't we just collecting data? Um, aren't we just learning to be the best us we can be? Like, and getting the things that we need to get. Hey, Terry, nice to see you, sweetie. Um, so I was talking with a young lady today, and her and I were having the conversation that went a little something like, everybody I talked to recently is saying they're having a hard time getting people to Zooms. Okay, so there's a shock, right? So, we were talking, and I was listening. I tried to do a lot of listening, and y'all know how hard that is for me. I have to constantly remind myself that I have two ears and one mouth for a reason. But what I will say is that through her and I conversation, we continued to talk about how we really want to delve into people's lives and their personalities and just their being, right? So I'm going to take a real good sip of this good, fresh, hot coffee. Colombian. So, what we were talking about in general, I'm not going to give you guys our conversation because that would be rude, but what we were talking about in general was that, for the most part, um, you have to you have to get on the level with these people. You have to understand that taking it backwards a step, getting on the phone, get on this thing right here, this phone, right? Get on the phone and talk to people. One of my mentors, who shall remain nameless, and I were talking, and we were talking about the fact that Zoom is a tool that the industry has more or less driven people to use. Okay, and their excuse is that if we're on Zoom, then we can read people's body language and we know what they're saying or what they want to say. I call bull hockey on that one. Okay, I'm being nice. I call bull hockey on that one. I don't believe it. What I believe is this. Let's see if you agree with me. As a little boy, I have really bad eyes. As you can tell, I wear reading glasses, but I have contacts in behind those, and my eyes are so bad now that they can't give me the double prescription where I can see both ways, so I have to wear glasses regardless. The reason that I tell you that is because my eyes have been so bad ever since a small child that my grandmother used to play this game with me, and I'm not sure whether she played it with me um, because she felt bad because her eyes were equally as bad, or whether she was trying to be helpful because my grandmother was one of those very helpful people and try to give me a skill that I didn't really have. And I've always been a talker and not a great listener. I've acquired the listening. I have become an excellent listener. But when I was a child, we would do this exercise, and she would do it and I would do it, and we'd both take our glasses off because we were both wearing glasses at the time, and mine looked like the bottoms of Coke bottles. Okay. We'd take our glasses off and we'd close our eyes and we would speak to one another. We would talk to one another. And then we would open our eyes and we had to tell each other what we heard. Okay. Not what we said, what we heard. So I'm going to go back to that, and I'm going to say that, you know, this tool right here is probably one of the best tools on the market, simply because if you get really good at listening, I want you to listen with your eyes. Okay? I want you to listen with your eyes closed, right? That's basically what I'm asking you to do. If I'm asking you not to use Zoom or Skype or whatever, you can't see the other person. So it doesn't matter if your eyes are open or shut. You're having to very, very, very intently listen to the conversation. And let me tell you, you can hear people smile. You can hear relief. You can hear frustration. You can hear pain. And the list goes on. All right. And so if you can get good at that, really good, like really good at listening and identifying those things in people's speech, in their stories that they tell you, you're going to be phenomenal as an entrepreneur. Now, we were talking for quite a little while today, and I shared something with her that one of my mentors shared with me, and they brought it to my attention because for some reason it escaped me. And that is that um, I'm an entrepreneur first. Oh, wow. So I say that because so many times, okay, so many times when we join a business, any business, doesn't matter what it is, we join a business, we get hopium, as my mentor says, and we're all over the place. We have hope and we have enthusiasm all at one time, but we don't really know anything, okay? And so we begin to try to go, 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 right? And we believe that getting into this business, whatever the business is the answer. It's the key, right? To get us everything we ever wanted in life. I say bull hockey again. And the reason that I say that is because my mentor said, hey, Kris, you're an entrepreneur first. You have a toolbox. You use your skills, right, to help others and teach them how to use systems so that they can become successful in the business that they choose to drive. The business is just a vehicle, y'all. All right? The business is just a vehicle. You can have multiple vehicles, okay? You can have no vehicles. Maybe you're just a personal development person, right? And so maybe your thing is personal development and education. There's nothing wrong with that either, okay? But this is what I will tell you about that. If you get truly good at listening, seeing with your ears, that's what it's called, seeing with your ears. If you get good at seeing with your ears, right, then if you've got, let's just call it 3 vehicles to drive, and you're talking to, I'm going to pick somebody out of the crowd here, Sharon. You're talking to Sharon, and Sharon is in a lot of pain, okay? And people can be in pain in more than one way. We're going to say that her number one pain is maybe she's got a shoulder that's just killing her, okay? And her second pain is that every month she has to figure out what she's not going to do that month because she can't afford to. Okay, it's two different pains. Most people would say one is equal to the other. Personally, what I'm going to say for the purpose of this presentation, what I'm going to say is this. I'm going to say that for Sharon, if I have three vehicles, one of them is a health product, one of them that alleviates pain, one of them is a financial product or information on finances, right? And one of them is an exercise program. Which one of those three, after I've talked to Sharon for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, and I've gotten to know her and I've seen with my ears her pain, which one am I going to elect to deliver to her first? Well, it's a no-brainer, right? I'm going to get her out of her physical pain first, right? Right? I may even send her samples, right, of this product that relieves pain. Why would I do that? Well, I'll tell you exactly why I would do that. Because first of all, it's about making that relationship stick for life, okay? And if you can take someone out of pain, any kind of pain, and deliver them results, you have made a customer and a friend for life. So why would I elect to send her a sample or something for that shoulder pain? Well, because physical pain is easier for people to recognize, okay? Physical pain is easier for people to recognize when it has been alleviated. So what I mean by that is she's in physical pain on her shoulder. She's in financial pain because she's trying to decide what she can or cannot do, right? And the funny thing about the second one is when you help someone get out of that pain, okay, or you take the stress off that pain is a better way to put it. When you take someone and remove them a little bit and take some of that stress off of their pain, the funny thing is the pain grows, right? Like if $100 was enough in the beginning to alleviate that pain and to get some relief, suddenly when you reach the $90 mark or the $80 mark, it's $150 or it's $200, right? And so because of that, now what's happened is the pain grew. Okay, so if I can send Sharon some relief oil, right, and get her out of this pain, she's going to know if she's out of pain or not. Hey, Bethany, nice to see you, darling. She's going to know if she's out of pain or not. That's not anything she can fake, right? She either is or isn't out of pain. Now, the first day or two, she may not really realize that the pain is lessening, right? Because when people deal with pain for a very long time, it's hard to recognize when the pain is no longer there, okay? So for the first couple of days, she may not really realize that the pain is going away. But now when I call her, say a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I say, hey, Sharon, how's that pain doing for you? And she says, Kris, my pain is all but gone. It's tolerable. It's, I'm not having that much pain. I'm getting a good night's rest. What's happened? I have created a friend. I have created a customer for life, right? So now is my opportunity to talk to her some more and to get to know her some more, right? Because we love you too, Dawn. Thank you. Because now, one of the main things that we talked about, or one of the main features of our conversation, whether she realized it or not, was her physical pain. And now that pain has had some relief. So now we can have a different conversation. Now we can talk about life in general, what the future might look like if she was pain-free and had all the money in the world. I might say, okay, Sharon, I'm just curious if I could show you how to have no pain in your life and increase your financial standing in 2 minutes or less, do you think that'd be something you'd like to see? The answer is going to be yes every time. Why? Because I've already proven to her, right, as an entrepreneur, I chose to prove to her that I'm a man of my word, and I sent her something that helped her alleviate her pain. But how did I get there? I got there by seeing her pain with my ears. Very important. Very important. You know, grandma's fear, back to my story for just a second. My grandmother's fear, I later found out in life as an adult, was that she would lose her eyesight completely. You know, with her bad eyesight, her cataracts, her macular degeneration, all the different things that happened to her, she lost about 60% of her sight before she went to her final destination. Now, I say that because you're probably wondering, why would she even put a child through that exercise? Well, it was twofold. I'm not stupid now. I was a talker, and she just wanted to hear me shut up for a minute, right? But secondly, she wanted to prepare me in case she passed that gene to me and I lost my eyesight. She wanted me to be well equipped, to be able to understand circumstances, to be able to understand conversations better, to be able to understand another person without being able to see them. I would highly recommend, highly recommend that everybody get back to calling their people. Okay. I'm not saying that I won't ever use Zoom. That's not what I'm saying. So don't misunderstand me. Zoom is great for group trainings and if you've got group presentations and things of that nature. It's fantastic for that. But I have now realized through the help of my mentor, he opened my eyes again, literally, and he showed me that I'm an entrepreneur first. And by being an entrepreneur first, I have to become the best listener, and I have to be able to plug people in where they are. How many times have we heard that? Plug people in where they are. Well, most people think that that just applies to their business, right? It doesn't. Okay? I may have a conversation. Heck, I might have 3 conversations with a person and never mention my business to them. Yeah, you heard me right. 3. I may have more than that. It depends on the person. Okay? I know when it's right. I know when I have collected enough data to be able to insert the proper conversation. So when you listen to your prospects, don't ask a question for the reply. Ask the question to collect data. It's a mind shift. I know it's a mind shift, but I need you guys to be with me on this. I need you guys to understand, or you're going to miss the whole point. You've got to make that shift in here. Okay? You absolutely have to make that shift in here. Okay? You've got to be able to discern for yourself before you go to your upline or your mentors or your business partners with somebody. You've got to be able to discern for yourself what the person you're talking to needs. Okay? What their need is, what their pain is, what the person can do. Okay? What the person has done in the past. Right? What the person desires for the future. Okay? These are all very big questions. If you don't have a list of questions when you meet someone or you begin talking to someone and you creating a dialogue with someone, you know, sit down and at the table, turn on television, radio, phone, computer, turn all that stuff off, get pen and paper, and write out, what do I really want to know about somebody? What means something to me? It might be 2 questions, it might be 9. I think my questionnaire is 8 or 9 questions, I think. And I don't even use the questionnaire paper form anymore. I've asked more or less the same questions in the same manner for so long that you get accustomed to it and you don't need the cheat sheet anymore. But until you can, use the cheat sheet. Heck, if you want to, keep files on your people, right? You know, print it off. Write it down on paper first. Get it, you know, tightened up. See what works. When it works, make a file. Then just hit print and If you're working on meeting new people for 2 hours a day, print off 3 forms, 4 forms, right? Half hour per person. You need to decide what your time limit is. Only you can make that decision. Okay? So you got to have files. You got to have systems. You got to have a desire to help other people. You've got to be an entrepreneur first. The reason people's businesses don't grow is because as soon as someone gives the inclination that they're interested and they want to hear more about your business, either people throw up all over them, which is, that's probably the biggest one. But people throw up all over them, or as soon as they kind of halfway seem like they're ready, they throw a link at them, they tell them to sign up, and a lot of these people do. They sign up, and they have great expectations. They're on hopium. Hope and enthusiasm together combined make hopium, okay? And they're running, and they hit their first brick wall, and guess what? They stop. They just stop. Don't do it anymore. And, or they go in a completely different direction than you wanted them to go in. And you would have known that had you taken more time with them, right? And you could have possibly groomed them to go in the right direction, or at least the direction in which you intended for them to go, okay? Whether it's right or wrong or whatever. At least the intended direction as opposed to the opposite direction. And so when I say that, we need to see with our ears, I'm not kidding, y'all. Like, if there is pain in someone's voice, if I'm talking to someone, I can pick up that person needs to talk. Okay? I know by the sound of their voice. Usually, if it's somebody that I know, usually by the way they say hello, I can usually tell where they're at and where I need to go with the conversation. Okay? Now, collecting data, that's a big thing. You need to be collecting data with your people, not responses, okay? Because they say one thing and mean another. All right. Same thing with when you're building a list, right? How many of us have to build a list? We all have to build a list, right? We have to build lists because we're in business. Who else are we going to talk to? The list, right? I mean, how many times have we heard list? Okay, so you want to be able to know if a person on your list is ready for a business opportunity, or is ready to get out of pain, or is ready to take the next step. You've got to know these things, and keeping files on your clients is not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all. As a matter of fact, I, for a very long time, would keep a file, and every prospect that I talked to, I had a questionnaire, and I would feed that stuff into a computer file, and I would file it. And then if something came up quirky, let's say I'm talking to, I don't know, Patty. Let's say I'm talking to Patty, and something quirky comes up. I can go back to that file, and it's listed prospects, and I can go through there, and I can click Patty Moore and open it up, and I can see our questionnaire. And then at the bottom of my questionnaire, I always did comments, or I always do comments, I should say. I always do comments at the bottom. Like, I feel that Patty is an entrepreneurial spirit. She's got a very bright light. She's enthusiastic, coachable, and teachable. Will be open to suggestion. Has many talents to offer. Maybe those are my comments. Okay, and I would go back and I read that, and then I would try to find out where I misunderstood. See, Patty didn't do anything wrong by going in an opposite direction or by taking a detour. I did something wrong. Let's get this straight. I did something wrong. And so if you're doing the interview, which you should be, technically you're interviewing everybody that you talk to, right? So if you're doing the interview, you missed something, which means you did not see with your ears something that was important. And so I would go back through and try to find what I missed so that I could get better, so I can fine-tune things, right? Like I said yesterday, we are testing life forward. Testing life forward, y'all. That's what it's about. I can't believe the conversations that I've had in the last week. Great, great, great in-depth conversations. At least I feel that way. I hope the people that I'm having them with feel that as well. I believe they do. I believe that as an entrepreneur, as a leader in this industry, I believe that I have grown to another level. I've leveled up, so to speak, and I believe that I'll be doing some more leveling up as the next few weeks pass by. The reason I say that is because I'm working very hard on personal development. If we're not working as hard on personal development as we are on our business, I got to tell you, it's not going to turn out real good. Okay? I speak from experience, y'all. Every time that I dive into personal development and I better Kris, my business world gets so much better. And my personal life too, because our personal lives are affected by our business life. You know, if we don't get the desired results that we want, that affects our personal life. If we miss talking to someone or miss talking about something, that affects everything, right? So for me, I want my life to be the best life it can be, and I'm so happy. I've got a great mentor. This mentor is open, direct. Um, he is available. Okay. If you deserve time, you will get it, and that's just how it is. Um, you know, he is um, he is helpful to a flaw. He's helpful to a flaw, um, and he's not a make you feel good kind of person, right? Like if he gives you a compliment, you deserved it. If you do something right and he acknowledges it, you deserved it. It's not a, oh, Kris, you read 35 pages of the book I assigned to you today. Great job. Nah. He's going to say, when are you going to finish the book? Okay? Because for me, he wants me to bloom into the person he knows that I am. And somewhere along the line, in my lifetime, I have I've taken detours, okay? And right now I'm committed to being the best Kris I can possibly be. I want to be a better Kris than I was yesterday, okay? So every time you talk to me, hopefully you'll be able to notice that I'm getting better and better and better at being me, right? That's pretty good, right? I like that. So we're testing life forward. We're getting better at being our best selves. We are listening. I'm sorry. We are seeing with our ears. Okay. We're being entrepreneurs first. Entrepreneurs first, y'all. What a crazy concept. Really, isn't that what it's about? Isn't that really what we should be doing? I mean, like, do we really have to tell each other this? I mean, seriously, somebody give me a comment. I'm going to get me a good sip of hot coffee. I love my Colombian coffee. And I take this opportunity, by the way, because I'm talking and I'm emphasizing so much on lives. I take that opportunity to have a coffee break with you guys every day, and I hope that doesn't offend anyone. That I take a little sip here and there. I promise you, it is Colombian coffee. I am not a drinker, just so everybody knows. But I'm doing what I need to do to keep my throat good, and I'm taking a coffee break, and I'm talking to you guys, so I'm multitasking at the highest level. So if someone would just tell me, do we really need to teach people to be entrepreneurs first? Just a yes or no. Yeah, I mean, and there's no right or wrong answer. I just need to know where I'm at. This is data collection for me, guys. Okay, it's nothing else but data collection for me. I really didn't think that. I personally really didn't think that I needed to be emphasizing and teaching people to be entrepreneurs first. I guess I had advanced over the last 28 years that I took it for granted, you know, and when the student is ready, right, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so I'm very fortunate and humbled to have a teacher in my life right now that is willing to help me get over the hurdles. I call them hurdles. in my life and in my business, but also to help me just become a better person, right? Just become a better person. That's really amazing. That's incredible in my book. Incredible. Okay, so Patty agrees. She thinks that we should definitely be teaching people to be entrepreneurs first. You know, this is just for those people that are in cryptogenics, by the way, because we're going to shift now into the cryptogenics part of the show. Um, by the way, before I do that, I will say that Bitcoin broke the 7,000 mark, and that's a great thing, and everybody's excited. Let's watch it break some more marks. Let's hope that we're going to see that run for quite a while. So, for those people that are in cryptogenics, and this is probably going to throw you for a loop, and it's completely against the grain of everything everybody else is teaching. And I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. If I say something, rest assured that I know that someone is going to disagree with me, but you need to know that I'm going to stand up for what I believe, okay? Because if I say it, I believe it. So in my cryptogenics business, I'm not even leading that I have a business. I'm not even really talking about education in the crypto space or anything like that. And I haven't for the last, I don't know, couple months. I am back to basics. I am talking to people. I am shaking hands. I am kissing babies, and that's true. I kissed a baby the other day in the grocery store. She was the cutest little thing. Um, I'm doing whatever it takes for me to better me. I'm really on a mission to better Kris and to better Kris's life. The rest will come by default when I reach my goal, which is really not a goal. We talked about that yesterday, right? It's a plan. The ultimate plan for Kris is to be the absolute best Kris that ever, ever, ever was, right? Now, that seems like there's a lot of pressure on that, but here's the great thing, y'all. You can take the pressure off because guess what? The Creator makes no mistakes. So you are already made the greatest, okay? Now, all you have to do is fine-tune that, right? Fine-tune that to become the greatest that you want to be. Okay? Not I want you to be, not my mentor, not cryptogenics, not the core five, not your husband or wife or spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be. You. Okay? The best you. So I am getting to know people. I am plugging people in where they are. Okay? And some of my people are nowhere. And I'm just going to be honest. I have met some people recently, and you go through floods of those. You have rivers, right? You have high tides and low tides in the river and the ocean. So I'm in a high tide of people that are nowhere. Honestly, they're not happy with their life. They're not happy with their business. They have very little knowledge. They have very little, and I don't mean knowledge like they didn't go to school. That's not what I'm talking about. They have very little knowledge on the things that I want to help them with. They have very low finances, and so for me, I'm trying to make those people the best they can be. I'm trying to help them, not make them. I'm trying to help them be the best people they can be. And so I'm just plugging into them. And quite honestly, with some of those people, what that looks like is just a call every couple days, 10, 15 minutes. I don't spend an hour with these people, okay? But I check in with them. How you doing? How's life treating you? What's changed since we talked last? Is there anything I can do to help you today? How can I serve you today? Those are the questions pretty much with those follow-up people. Now, some people would say, Kris, you're wasting your time. That's not growing your business. That's not changing your life. I say you're wrong. It is changing my life. It gives me great pleasure. It gives me great feeling inside. It makes me feel good that I call and check on people for no financial gain. Okay, I'm just calling to check and see how they're doing. Right? Now, I'm also building rapport with these people. I'm also becoming their buddy, right? Like they think they know me intimately because some of them I've talked to maybe 5 or 6 times now. And maybe the first conversation was 30, 45 minutes. So they believe that they know Kris, and they do know a Kris, part of Kris. They don't know the whole Kris, right? And so I say that these people's lives are going to be enriched. If I'm doing my job correctly, which is helping other people, that's our main purpose on this planet, in case you didn't know. Okay? Our main purpose on this planet is help other people. Okay? Now, I believe it's to help other people be the best they can be. Okay? That looks like different things to different people. All right? And you got to know who you're talking to, which means you got to see with what? Your ears, right? So, I believe that if I help those people, whether they join my business or not, my current business or a future business, maybe, who knows, or they just become a really good friend, then I've done something, right? Maybe when I call them, their voice is chipper, okay? Maybe when I call them, they have a little pep in their step, right? Maybe when I call them, they've got a little more confidence that they're attacking the world with, right? Okay? So these are the things that I'm talking about. You know, I don't have to tell you, but you know that it's wrong to put someone in a business just because they have the money, just to make a paycheck, okay? You know if they are not ready. And, I hate to break it to you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, okay? I hate to be the one to shatter your little crystal ball, but the truth is 98% of the people that you're going to run into right now are not ready for a business. So you say, Kris, well, if I want to build my business and I need to build my business so I can help change my future and my family's future, well, who do I talk to if these people aren't ready? Well, I say that you get more specific. Okay, there are tools and skills out there that you can learn that will hone you into people that are looking for you. Okay, that are without a doubt looking for you, that they are expecting someone to bring them the answer. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, if that's an avenue that you want to take. All right, now I happen to know, and I've been talking with a few people that list building is not something that a lot of people have been doing. Blows my mind. Okay, it blows my mind, but it's not something that a lot of people have been doing, and it's okay. If you're one of those people that hasn't been building a list, there are places that you can get lists that are dependable, that are good, solid, uh, informed, direct. This is something that you can do, and you can talk to only those people about your business, and then you can talk to everybody else about being the best them they can be, and you be the best you can be. And I guarantee you that at least 50% of those people that you're helping by being an entrepreneur, they're gonna see things your way. They're gonna begin to see that your life is good, that your life is happy, and it's because of these things in your life. And they're gonna want what you have. Okay? They're gonna want what you have. Understand that. Okay? So if we're coming at people, and I'll give you an example. I'm going to use Patty again. Hey, Patty, it's Kris. Listen, I just found out about this amazing opportunity, and it's in the crypto world. Do you know anything about the crypto world? And she might say yes or no. We're going to say she says no at this point, and for this example, and I'm going to say, oh, that's awesome, because I'm part of a company that educates you completely. It's 45 lessons, and you don't have to know anything about crypto, and you're going to make a lot of money in the future. Okay, what did I just do? I just did it all wrong. I didn't ask her any questions. One question. Out of that one question, I could not possibly collect enough data to know if Patty is a good candidate for this or not. Just saying, y'all. A more appropriate question might be something like this. This is a better example. I call up, ring, ring. Patty answers, hello. Hey, Patty, how's you doing? Oh, that's awesome. So things are good, huh? Did the volcano stop over there in Hawaii yet? Oh Lord, it worries me a little bit. And you guys have been having all that rain, and the hurricane came. I'm telling you, you just right in the middle of the thick of everything, aren't you? But you're safe and your family's good. I'm so glad to hear that. I really, really, really am glad to hear that. So, how's things been going aside from, Mother Nature's throwing a temper tantrum? Shut up. Don't say another word until Patty either stops talking or she asks you a question. Okay? So, Patty's going to talk for, I don't know, 5 minutes, and you're listening, you're collecting data, right? You're probably taking notes if you're like Kris. Okay? And then Patty pauses. She realizes she's been talking a lot. And she pauses and she says, so Kris, how are things going for you? Oh, thanks for asking, Patty. They're amazing. My life is changing on a daily basis. I am so grateful and so humbled to be where I am in my journey right now. I just absolutely love each and every day. I get up every morning wondering exactly what this day is going to give me. That was a very, it was a truthful answer for me personally, but let's just say that, for the sake of the example, we'll say that's an appropriate answer. Notice I didn't deject back to business. I didn't jump into anything that I want her to look at. I just gave her an answer. And now at the end of my answer, I'm going to ask her another question. So Patty, tell me, I know that you have that doTERRA business. How's that going for you? You have plenty of people in that business? Are you making a lot of money? Shut up. Let her talk. She might talk another 5 minutes. That's okay. You're collecting data. Now this time she might say, "Well, Kris," and I'm going to talk as if though I'm Patty for a minute. She might say, "Well, Kris, doTERRA is a great product, and everybody that I introduce it to really likes it. But I've noticed that I'm not getting quite as many business partners as I might like to. I'm not feeling the love with the paychecks the way I would like to. So maybe she's indicated a little bit of pain in that area, and then she might say something like." Well, aren't you doing something in the crypto world? Didn't the last time you and I talked, didn't you say that you were living completely off crypto now? Yeah, we did talk about that, Patty. And thanks for asking again. Crypto's a crazy business. I tell you, it's not for everyone. If you don't have a strong stomach and you watch those numbers, I'm telling you what, it can make your stomach do flip flops. Seriously. But, overall, I'm very happy. I've got some great business partners and I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So, what are you doing? What are you going to do? What's your next step, Patty? See, I jumped right back into another question for Patty. I'm collecting data, y'all. I'm collecting data. So, Patty, what is your plan to increase your paychecks with doTERRA? How exactly can you increase your paychecks with doTERRA? And she might give me 3 different ways. Maybe one is encourage people to reorder more frequently or order for gifts for the upcoming holidays or something of that nature. Or maybe she says, well, in order for me to make more, I need to have more people making more. Okay, well, that's an answer too, right? And maybe she said, well, Kris, I just don't seem to be talking to the right people or getting my point across quickly enough. And so then I might come back with something like, well, Patty, really our first goal, our first plan, our first our first point of interest when we're talking to people is really to be an entrepreneur. We really need to find out, what exactly makes them tick. What their pain point is. Are they in pain today, or is the world rainbows and puppy dog tails? You see where I'm going? And then I might say something along the lines of, um, are you currently building a list? Are you currently, going through past people? Because sometimes that helps. If you've got a list of people that you've done business with before, you might collect some information from them, right? So again, I'm still not bringing up cryptogenics. She did. And I answered her. I'm still not saying, I think doTERRA is the wrong thing for you. You got to get out of that. You're never going to make any money in that. The only thing in the world right now that's going to make money is crypto. It's the hottest thing going. I could be that person. I'm not going to do that, right? So Renee says, what if she starts trying to sign you up? Happened to me a few times. Okay, that's a great question. I'm going to end this example for what we were using it for right now, but I am going to jump on that. I'm going to say that Patty says, well, Kris, I know that you're a leader in the industry and that you've been successful at several things that you've done, and I'm looking for leaders just like you. Sounds good, right? It's complimentative. It is a question. It's leading. So for me, what I would do personally, Renee specifically, is I would say, well, Patty, how about tell me about this company a little bit? And I'm going to let Patty tell me about the company. And she's going to probably tell me, as most people when they're trying to recruit you do, she's probably going to tell me all the great stuff, right? And so then she's going to be quiet and she's going to say, what do you think? And I'm going to come back with another question. We'll say, well, all right, you told me all the great stuff about the company. Now tell me what you don't like about the company. She ain't ready for that. Okay, she is not ready for that question. I guarantee you 100% of the time when you ask that question, they're going to go, they're going to have to think about it for a minute because they're not expecting you to ask them what you don't like about a company that they're part of. Okay? And give them time to answer. And then ask them, are you currently, well, first of all, ask them how long they've been in their business. Okay? Because that's critical. You want to know how long they've been in the business. And then the second question, the follow-up question to how long is this. Are you making more money than you ever dreamed of? Are you making more money than you ever dreamed of? They're not ready for that question either. Okay? Because the answer is always going to be no. So after I collect this data, right? Because now she's tried to flip me. She's tried to recruit me, right? So what I've just done is I've interviewed her. I let her think that she's pitching to me when in reality, I'm just getting more and more data from her. And I'm going to use that data to tell her why I think we would be great business partners, but not in her business, in my business. Okay? And the reason that I would do that, and it might go a couple different ways, Renee. We could talk more about this more in depth if you have some specifics. Hopefully this has cleared this up a little bit for you. But if someone tries to pitch you, they are obviously in business mode. Okay? So they have given you permission. They have given you permission. Listen carefully. They have given you permission to approach them about your business. Very important. Very important. You always want to have permission to talk to someone about your business. You always, always, always want to have permission to talk to someone about their business. Now, Patty may not realize that she gave me permission, but she gave me permission just by trying to recruit me. Now, that said, did I collect enough information during my interview process when she was telling me about her business for me to accurately decide if I want her in my business? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say for Kris, the answer to that is going to probably be no. At which point I'm going to say, well, Patty, I really appreciate you thinking so highly of me about your business. And I really do see where you're a great asset to the company. That business doesn't sound like it's a really good fit for me. However, I would really just be over the top of the mountain if you would consider maybe coming on board with me. But before you can do that, we probably should set up another meeting where we can get to know each other better. See? I didn't ask her to join my business today. I told her I would like for her to join my business. I complimented her business style. I said she was a great person. I said she was an asset to her company. And then I said I would like for her to be part of our company. But I never asked her to look at anything, and I never asked her to join my business. So now what would I do in this instance? I would say, Patty, I'm looking at my schedule, and I don't know what your schedule looks like, but mine's pretty full. Can you give me 1 or 2 times and let me see if I have openings during those times, and let's schedule a time to talk to each other tomorrow. We'll need maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. You see what I just did? I let her know that my time is valuable. I let her know that I'm pretty much booked. Whether I'm booked or not is immaterial. She thinks I am, okay? And that's just one of those little tricks that you learn to use. You don't want people to think you're available 24/7 because it sets up a bad example, okay? And you get yourself into a place where you have no free time, you have no life, okay? So what I want you to do is give her a day. I said tomorrow. Give her an amount of time. I said 20 to 30 minutes. And then let her give you a couple times. And if those times really do work for you, set the appointment. If the time doesn't work for you, maybe you've got a doctor's appointment for your kid, you're a dadpreneur like I am, or you've got to run down to the school, or you need to go to the grocery store, or you got laundry to do. If it's not a good time, say, hey, that time doesn't work for me, but I have this time instead. Try to lock in a time slot close to what she wants. Okay? Why? Because it makes them feel important. And they are important. Okay? This has been a great call. Renee, I love that question. Thank you so much for that question. That is beautiful, especially after what we've been talking about today. Now, some people would use this option, and I'm going to show you how it feels real quick. Patty, I can see you're an asset to your company. I can see why they're really glad to have you on board. But here's what I think. I think you need to ditch that company because it is completely wrong for you. And I don't really think that you're ever going to make the kind of paycheck that you want to make over there. But I am 99.9% sure that if I hold your hand and help you, you can make that paycheck over here. So let's get you signed up. What do you think about signing up as a promoter with me today? That felt terrible. It felt terrible saying it. Can you imagine how it would feel if you were the person that it was being said to? Really? Pardon my language here, but I just shit all over the company that you're excited about and told you you're never going to make the kind of money you want to make. And then I tried to tell you that you need to come join me. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It feels wrong on the delivery. It feels wrong on the reception. It's not a good thing to do. Okay? So I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't turn out well. Sometimes it even turns out a little heated. And, I'm just trying to be a positive person. I don't like to go into negative space. Heated is definitely negative space. So, Renee, if that helped, just give me a thumbs up or something. Let me know. Cool. Hey, Jeff. Glad you made it. So, what I'm ultimately saying today is I want everybody to learn to see with their ears. Okay. I want everybody to practice being an entrepreneur first. It does take practice. Okay. And I want everybody to understand that, you're not necessarily going about building your business incorrectly, but there's a better way. There's an easier way. And I hate to use the word easy, and I'm going to tell you why. I hate the word easy because when you say the word easy, people automatically assume no work needed. Nowhere in the word easy or in the definition is that what it means. But for some reason, in people's heads, that's what they think. When I say easier, I mean you're not beating yourself up. You're not having conversations you don't want to have. You're not talking to people that you don't want to talk to. Okay? Instead, you're talking to people that you like. You're talking to people that you want to be in business with. You're talking to people about something that makes you happy. Okay? And the conversation's easy to have. If you're having conversations and they're not easy, you're not having the right conversation. I mean, and there'll be a lot of people. You watch and see. There'll be people that watch this replay, and I will get some really not so cool messages, but that's okay. You know why it's okay? Because that's their opinion. Okay. And everything that works for me is not going to work for somebody else, but I can guarantee you if they would try to do it similarly, they would find an easier road to take. Okay, instead of needing the four-wheel drive, they may be able to drive the Corvette. All right, and I'm talking about the roads that they're traveling. Okay, you know, anyone who's ever ridden or driven a Corvette knows that they're very low to the ground. You've got to have fairly flat, smooth surfaces. Okay. Likewise, if you've driven a four-wheel drive, then you know that you're going to, run into some holes and probably climb some hills and run into some valleys, and it's just going to be a really bumpy ride. Okay? Now, I don't know why anybody would choose to take the bumpy road, but I'm going to say to you, if you want to take an easier road, we should have a conversation one-on-one. There are easier ways and there are better ways. That does not mean you will not have to work. Okay. With that being said, I love each and every one of you guys. I am so grateful that you guys popped on. I enjoy seeing your names and your comments and your thumbs up and all of the different things that you guys do for me when you come on. And we're going to get everybody to send some positive, healing light and love towards Joe. Bless his heart with his strep throat and his daughter and her strep throat. Remember, there'll be no live tomorrow. Remember, no live tomorrow because I have the doctor's appointment for my son at the neuro, and Joe will be down. So there'll be no live tomorrow. I had been telling you guys that I wouldn't be on it, but now I'm just telling you that there won't be one at all. Additionally, I will let you guys be the first to know that there will be a call tomorrow. You'll be getting an email from corporate. It'll be at 3 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And that call is going to be between corporate and the Green X folks. So you won't want to miss that. It will be recorded. I will not be hosting that call either because of the doctor's appointment. Mike Boggs will be hosting that call. However, I will get the recording from him and get it on the blog and get it posted out to all the groups as soon as I get home so that you guys can get that, because I know that time slot may be difficult for a lot of people's teams, okay? So look for the email. It's coming. And everybody have a great day. Have a cryptastic day. Remember, we're testing life forward. We're seeing with our ears. And we're being entrepreneurs first. Y'all have a great day. Love you.